Danganronpa is a popular franchise which consists of not only games, which are pretty much the main attractive, but animes and light novels as well. Today, we'll take a look at the most important light novel of the franchise, Danganronpa Zero. It consists of 2 volumes and was written by Kazutaka Kodaka, the creator of the series. I want to add a little disclaimer before starting. First off, this video is an assignment for one of my classes at university. Due to the lack of time I have to edit this, it won't be a full-depth analysis, though I would love to make one someday. Second, this book is a prequel to the events in Trigger Happy Havoc, as it explains how things started to fall apart, so there will be some spoilers from things that are revealed in the game. With that being said, let's start. This story follows Ryoko Otonashi, a girl who suffers from severe amnesia. She can't form new long-term memories, so she tends to forget things constantly like conversations, events, and even people. Because of that, she carries a notebook everywhere and writes down anything important about her life. That way, if she forgets something she might know, she can just go back to her notebook and check if there's any information about that there. Her talent isn't stated at the beginning of the novel, but it's revealed later on that she's the ultimate analytical prowess. Weirdly, there's one thing she never forgets, even without her notebook. Yasuke Matsuda, the ultimate neurologist, her childhood friend, and love interest. Thanks to his talent, he uses her as a test subject, or patient as he calls her, and studies her condition. Even though he's cold, distant, and honestly kind of a jerk to Ryoko, she's head over heels for him. A one-sided love, basically. While Ryoko deals with her condition, something is happening at her school, Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak is an elite school that only accepts students with insane talent, also known as ultimate or super high school level students. The whole idea is that the school represents hope for the future. Unfortunately, a tragedy has happened there recently. This is named the worst, largest incident in Hope's Peak Academy's history. In said incident, 13 students are murdered. All of them belong to the student council, leaving only one alive, the president. Instead of dealing with it openly, the school, mainly the principal and steering committee, is trying to cover the whole thing up. It's also important to mention that there's this protest group composed by Reserve Corps students called the Parade who are demanding answers. Who are the Reserve Corps students, you may ask? The Reserve Corps department is where talentless students can attend by paying an insanely high fee. This is built to fund Hope's Peak Academy. In exchange, students have the privilege of studying at this prestigious school, as the name of it weighs very heavily to the outside world. Hope's Peak isn't entirely innocent though. The people in charge of the school approved a project where they take a normal student and erase his personality completely, replacing it with artificial talent, basically trying to create the perfect human. The result of that experiment is Izuru Kamakura, someone with every possible talent, but no emotions or humanity left. He's considered Hope's Peak's symbol of hope. He's responsible for the massacre and the school obviously knows it, yet they still choose to hide it. At the same time, a few different people are trying to figure out what really happened with the incident. There's Kyoko Kirigiri, the ultimate detective, who's secretly investigating it. She's hired by her own father, who's the headmaster of the school. There's also Yuto Kamishiro, the ultimate secret agent. Just like Kyoko, he tries to unveil the truth about the tragedy and uses his lack of presence to gather information. But who is the mastermind behind all of what happened? Is it Izuru Kamakura? Is it Hope's Peak Academy's steering committee? No and no. The real mastermind is none other than Ms. Junko Anishima. She shows up pretty early and it's obvious almost immediately that she's behind everything. There's even a scene where she's literally dancing in blood, laughing. She's completely obsessed with despair, not just causing it, but experiencing it herself. At one point, she meets Ryoko at a fountain at night. She messes with her, drops hints, and basically tells her 2 things. The first one is that she wants to destroy Izuru Kamakura, and the second one is that she wants to kill Yasuke. Ryoko freaks out and decides that she has to protect him, which is a really normal reaction. What she doesn't realize is that she's already part of the plan. In the second volume, everything starts coming together. As Yuto is getting closer and closer to the truth, even discovering that the mastermind behind the incident is actually Junko Enoshima, someone kills him to keep things hidden. After that, Ryoko runs into Junko again, but something feels off. Da-da-da-da! It's revealed that it isn't actually her, but Mukuro Ikusawa, Junko's twin sister, who is acting as her body double the whole time. She explains that everything that's been happening is already planned out by Junko in advance. To quote her, it was all a scenario. Then, things started to spiral. A young man suddenly appears claiming to be Izuru Kamakura and explains that everything is just something Junko orchestrated to create chaos, as I mentioned previously. She forces the student council into a mutual killing game and uses it to manipulate the reserve corps students and push them into despair, turning the school itself into the symbol of that tragedy. But then the truth is revealed once more. He's not Izuru Kamakura. He's Yasuke Matsuda, but Ryoko doesn't recognize him or can't remember him at first. At this point, Yasuke realizes that everything he has done, protecting Junko, hiding evidence, even killing people, isn't really his own choice, but part of a plan, Junko's scenario. Even his connection or friendship with her is something she uses. Matsuda reaches a dead end, and that is when something breaks inside him. He tries to kill Ryoko, thinking it's the only way to end everything and to protect everyone. But instead, that moment triggers something in Ryoko's mind as she remembers that she's not real and never existed to begin with. So, who is she? Oh boy. The plot twist of this story is that she's actually none other than Junko Enoshima herself. She kills Yasuke without hesitating, and instead of relief, what she feels is exactly what she wanted all along: despair. The despair of killing someone important to her with her own hands. That's the point where everything clicks. This isn't just a plan to manipulate others. She has been manipulating herself too, losing her memories willingly, becoming Ryoko. All of it is part of a scenario she creates just to experience that final moment. And from there, she moves forward with an even bigger plan, the killing school life. That is the end of Danganronpa Zero, taking us to the start of the events in the first game, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Before reading this, I didn't understand how people could be afraid or uncomfortable from reading something, especially with gory things. But after finishing the light novel, I will not question people who read these kind of things, or even worse, ever again. Thank you, Danganronpa Zero, for helping me understand this. The idea of getting obsessed with something to the point where you can lose your humanity completely is something that has itched my brain after reading this. In this case, Junko loses her memories and identity just to feel an insane amount of despair by seeing someone important to her die by her own hands. She clearly lost her mind in that aspect. I would say it's not something too far from the reality we live in currently, especially with politicians. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's real. Switching to Yasuke, it's important to realize how dangerous it is to try to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. In his case, he believes he can protect Junko Enoshima and fix everything, so he justifies his actions, even if that means hiding the truth and hurting others, thinking it's for a greater good. But in the end, Junko was always in control, and without realizing it, he became part of her plan. By the time he understands that everything he did was manipulated from the start, he breaks completely because he realizes he didn't just fail to save her. He lost himself trying and died that way. Love really is blind sometimes. In the end, Danganronpa Zero shows that the scariest kind of despair isn't something forced on you. It's the one you choose to create for yourself. That's all I have to say about this book. If you're into the Danganronpa series or would like to get into it, I recommend you reading this light novel between the second game and before watching the anime Danganronpa 3 for a better understanding. I enjoyed this so much and still think that maybe in another life, Yasuke and Ryoko would have made a cute couple. Thank you so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you again next time.